we started live broadcast, this thing, YouTube also.
YouTube, okay.
Yeah.
You started?
I started now. I think
Okay.
somebody can check it. Samya, can you just check it?
YouTube.
Yeah. Please click on that link which I sent in the mobile. Right now, you can see this Zoom screen.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to see that screen, correct?
Yeah.
Very good. Somebody can check it. Samya, can you just check it?
YouTube.
Please click
I
on
think
that.
there's a delay.
Oh, there is a delay. There should
Yeah.
be. So whoever is using, like Soumya, you don't switch on that YouTube because
Oh.
it will take you the echo while
Okay.
you are at Zoom.
Okay.
So just you can come you can go out of that YouTube right now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, now everything is fine. We are having. Allow me once, yeah. 1 second. At 7 o'clock, we can admit all. I just put admit all then so that everybody will come together. Okay.
Yeah, we can start now, I think, to admit.
Oh, is it? 1 second. I will admit Aravind first. Aravind Shukla.
Okay.
What is
Now
656?
the current slide is the conclusion slide.
Yeah. Please.
Oh, it's okay.
Satya, please.
अरे रोको तो सही वेट हेलो
Good evening, doctors.
Good evening.
Shukla.
Good evening. Can you see me?
I am not able to see you, but let me do this thing. I will just change the view.
Okay.
Yes. You are actually it's
I think I'm not visible.
no, it's dark.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
It's okay.
No, it's fine. Yes.
Actually, my daughter has switched off that camera.
Okay.
That's why. So, good evening to everybody. Sathyaraj.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
Yes,
Sir.
good
Good
evening.
evening.
So this time registrations number of registrations are very good.
Oh, number is very good, very good. I think really we have to appreciate Dr. Sathyaraj. He only.
Yeah, Sathyaraj has done enthusiastic work, and he has motivated to many to attend this webinar. It's good.
Yeah. I think it's crossed 300 now.
Yeah. I think in Sathyaraj, you are in Kidwai.
Yeah. I'm working in Kidwai.
Kidwai. In 2 years before, I think in COVID time, I think in 2021 or some, Nias?
Yeah,
when
please.
we conducted that
Yes.
CMPI oral exam.
Yeah, there was an exam.
oral examination.
Yeah, correct.
I think 22 or 21 something.
Yes, sometimes in 20, just after COVID, just after that
Yeah.
lockdown.
Post COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kidwai, my two batchmates are there with you, Bardraj and Rekha.
Yeah, they are my boys. I know them.
Yeah. They are my DRP batchmates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have another 1 minute. Dr. Sathyaraj, can you just go back to that first slide? This is conclusion slide, I think.
Yeah, this is the first slide.
Oh, this is the first slide. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, this is first slide.
Conclusion.
Oh.
I've learned to listen.
Only one is visible at right. My daughter.
Yes.
Hello.
So can we start now?
Yes.
Yeah, you can admit.
Yeah.
Seven.
Dr. Aravind,
Yeah.
you please collect the questions from YouTube also, okay?
Yes.
Soumya will take it from chat box. You please collect from YouTube. And one more request, I will be leaving by 8 o'clock. I have a train at 9. So I'll be leaving by till 8 o'clock I will be here, okay?
Yeah.
So probably you have to take off.
Okay.
I will make you as a...
Your laptop will be on now.
Yeah, no, I will make you as a host, but like in between. I can make you host. Otherwise, my laptop will also be available. No problem.
Okay. Don't switch off your.
No.
laptop.
No. Okay. So I'm going to admit.
Yeah.
मैं ये निकालूं?
Recording in progress.
Yes.
மொத்தம் என்ன சொல்றாங்க நம்ம ஊர்ல இருக்கிறவங்க இது வந்து லிஸ்ட் வந்து ஆன்லைன்ல இருந்ததா
அப்ப யாராவது ஒரு ஆள் காமிச்சா எப்ப வந்துரும் யாராவது காமிச்சு
ம்
90 pupils are there on YouTube.
Oh, very good. Soumya and Dr. Sathyaraj, please.
No. Sorry, no, not 90. 12.
Okay.
12. Sorry.
Dr. Sathyaraj and Dr. Soumya, please unmute by yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
So can we start?
Am I audible? Yeah, please start. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
46%.
Good evening, all. Welcome to the CMPI Web Lecture series. I am Nias, the Secretary of CMPI. CMPI College of Medical Physics of India, CMPI is the academic wing of Association of Medical Physics of India, AMPI. So we do conduct regular webinars and teaching sessions. This month we have web lectures on a topic of cylindrical ion chamber, one-stop solution for reference dosimetry of photon and electron beam based on a modified formalism. So we are lucky to have an eminent speaker in this field, Dr. P. Sathyaraj, Assistant Professor from Kidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology, Bengaluru. And also I would like to welcome Ms. Soumya. She is going to moderate today's session. Soumya Innam is a senior medical physicist, Department of Radiation Oncology, Amrita Institute of Medical Science, Cochin. So please, Soumya.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nias, for inviting me to chair this session. So today we have a very interesting talk by Dr. P. Sathyaraj. He's a medical physicist at Kidwai Cancer Institute, Bengaluru. And he did his PhD from VIT University, and his work was on polymer gel dosimetry, for which he earned the Best Innovative Research Award in Sweden. And he have tremendous experience in TSET commissioning, TBI commissioning, VMAT and SRS, SR, TQAs, and film dosimetry as well. So he published more than 18 peer-reviewed papers, and his current research actually focuses on reference dosimetry for electron and photon beams and gamma index evaluation in patient-specific QA and SFRT, including grid therapy and all. So today's topic is cylindrical ion chamber, one-stop solution for reference dosimetry of photon and electron beam based on a modified formalism. So I welcome Dr. Sathyaraj to take over this session.
Yeah, thank you, Samia, for the brief introduction. I'm audible. My slide is able to see.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. Shall we start?
Yes.
The presentation, the conclusion of the presentations will be like,
Hello.
just a minute, it's not opening the slide.
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Can I able to see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. The conclusion of the presentations will be like, without any hesitation, a physicist can be used cylindrical ionization chamber for electron reference dosimetry. If you ask me the proof, I will ask you to stay tuned for another 45 minutes. A very good evening to everyone. I would like to thank the CMPI organization for giving me this opportunity. The entire presentation has been built based on the topic cylindrical ion chamber, one-stop solution for reference dosimetry of photon and electron beam, based on a modified formalism. Even though the topic hold the photon reference dosimetry, I'm not going to cover about photon reference dosimetry because I hope everybody will knows about their output measurements using cylindrical ion chamber for photon beams. I'm going to cover more and more about electron beam reference dosimetry. Basically, this presentation is the fight between the parallel plate ion chamber and the cylindrical ion chamber. Let them fight and we will see who will be the master. As soon as the cylindrical ion chamber coming to the picture for electron reference dosimetry, there are three fundamental questions coming to the mind to physicists. The first one is, it is not recommended by any protocol, particularly to use low electron energies. And second thing is, the perturbation is higher related to the parallel plate ion chamber, so that will mislead the dose determination. And third one, we never done such a work practice because we were grown up like use the PP chamber for electron reference dosimetry and use the cylindrical ion chamber for photon reference dosimetry. Even I was in the same boat before understanding the importance of cylindrical ion chamber for electron reference dosimetry. So after read some research publication under TG385, we implemented in one of the LINAC electron cylindrical ion chamber for electron reference dosimetry. So those experience I would like to share here as a presentation. The next 45 minutes, I'm going to cover the topic like perturbation correction factor. So this is meant for the students, intern medical physicists and budding medical physicists. And the next one, the ground realities of PPC cylindrical ion chambers. And third one is APM TG51 formalism, because the modified formalism derived based on the APM TG51. In the second part, I'm going to cover more about how to implement this modified formalism using cylindrical ion chamber in your clinic. At last, I'm going to share our results, and at last, I will send you the handful of information. Okay. As a physicist, it's our responsibility to measure the absorbed dose in a point inside the water medium, but without ionization chamber. How it is possible? It is not possible. So we must introduce some detector in water medium. Let's say, for example, ionization chamber. When you are placing the ionization chamber in a water medium, it replaces some amount of water from the phantom. So it will cause the perturbation to your radiation fluence. Why the perturbations happen? Because the ion chamber is made up of different components like cavity, central electrode, wall, stem, none of the water equivalent. So definitely it will cause the perturbation. So we need absorbed dose in a point in a water, but we don't want the chamber. It's like analogy. For example, just think an analogy. a vegetarian wants taste the chicken, but you don't want eat the chicken. How it is possible? It's quite simple. Just mix the chicken masala with paneer and give it to him. Let him eat the paneer. Let him taste the flavor of the chicken. So very similarly, we want absorb those inside the water phantom, but we don't want the ion chamber. So here, the chicken masala is nothing but perturbation correction factors. When you add the perturbation correction factor, the presence of ionization chamber can be virtually eliminated. To understand this, I request you have a look of the first diagram. It shows the typical ion chamber construction. So when you apply the central electrode correction factor, the presence of central electrode will be removed, and whatever the dose we are getting from this chamber is in the absence of central electrode. But this is not enough. Our job is partially completed. We must apply the correction factor for each and every component of ionization chamber. Say, for example, apply the stem correction factor in order to remove that. Apply the wall and correction factor in order to remove them. Similarly, apply another correction factor, that is cavity perturbation correction factor, that can be removed the presence of cavity. At last, we will end up with a dose inside the water phantom in a point. Now, the dose measured by the ionization chamber is equal to the in the absence of the chamber. The perturbation correction factor has been accounted in beam quality conversion factor, that is KQ Q0. I would prefer to call this KQ Q0 as beam quality conversion factor rather than beam quality correction factor, because there is none of business of KQ Q0 to correct your beam. So the KQ Q0 is given by the ratio of multiple correction factors. In the numerator, you can see stopping power ratio and WAR, that is amount of energy needed to produce ion pair, and PCHQ is the overall perturbation correction factors. Numerator and denominator both are having the same parameters, but the numerator belongs to the user beam quality, say for example 6 MeV, 10 or 15 MeV, whereas the denominator is the reference beam quality, for example copper 60. Perturbation correction factors. The first perturbation, let us see how the TRS 398 and the TG51 approach the perturbation correction factor. As per TRS 398, the perturbation correction factor is given by the product of displacement, wall, central electrode, and the cavity perturbation correction factor. As per the TG51, the perturbation correction factor is given by the product of gradient, fluence, wall, and central electrode. In TG51, they combined the gradient and fluence correction factor together, and they renamed as a replacement correction factor. This replacement correction factor is equal to the displacement correction factor of the TRS 398. Similarly, the fluence correction factor in TG51 is equivalent to the cavity perturbation correction factor mentioned in TRS 398. The first perturbation correction factor is displacement or gradient perturbation correction factor. To understand, consider two volumes. One is with small water volume and the other one is ion chamber volume. Both are placed in the water phantom at a reference depth, and both are having same geometry center. When they are getting exposed by the electron, the dose water measured by the geometric center of the water volume is not equal to the dose measured by geometry center of ionization chamber, because the dose measured by the ionization chamber always, the ion collection efficiency always higher, little shallower depth compared to the geometry center of the ionization chamber. Now, the dose measured in this point is equivalent to the dose measured inside the water of the geometric center. So why this difference? Because the cavity and water have different attenuation properties that make the dose difference between the cavity volume as well water volume. So these difference must be accounted in order to get the correct dose. The difference can be accounted through the either gradient correction factor or displacement correction factor. If someone fails to apply these correction factor, the another alternative method is shift effective point of measurements. Again, consider two volumes. The left one shows the cavity, that is ion chamber. The right one shows the water volume. Let us assume both are sharing the same geometric center and both are placed in water at 10 centimeter depth. Now, whatever dose measured by in the central point of the water volume is not equal to the dose measured by the chamber, unless until you apply the gradient correction factor. But here, we are not going to apply the gradient correction factor. Instead of, we are going to move the chamber to the effective point of measurements. How to calculate the effective point of measurements? The effective point of measurements can be calculated for cylindrical chamber, particularly when you deal with electron, 0.6 times of R cavity. For example, the cavity radius is 3 mm. When you multiply the 3 mm with 0.6, then you are getting 0.18 centimeter. now the chamber should move from its reference depth to the 1.8 mm down. So now the whatever dose measured at the 10.18 centimeter of ionization chamber is equal to the dose measured at 10 centimeter of water. It's a very important note on that. Shifting the chamber to the effective point of measurement is equal to the applying the gradient. Both are complement. So one should not use both simultaneously. Either you apply the gradient correction factor or shift the chamber to the effective point of measurements. Okay, it's good to know the difference between the PDI and PDD here. PDI is nothing but percentage depth ionization, and the PDD is the percentage depth dose. Either it is the photon or electron. When you take the PDD, we must correct the PDD by two correction factors. One is stopping power ratio, another one is effective point of measurements correction factor. Say, for example, you are going to measure the percentage depth dose for electron beam using cylindrical chamber and a parallel to the ion chamber. When you are using these chambers, you must correct the PDD using stopping power ratio. Whereas in the photon, you no need to correct because the stopping power ratio variation beyond the Dmax is just 0.1%. So this is one of the corrections. After that, the next correction is effective point of measurements or gradient correction factors. When you plan to measure the PDD for electron beam using the cylindrical ionization chamber, we must shift the chamber to 0.5 times of R cavity when you are using the cylindrical ion chamber. When you come to the photon beam, the shift is given by 0.6 times of R cavity. But when you are using the PPC chamber, either electron or photon, the shift is unnecessary. Say, for example, consider the depth ionization curve of photon, which is shown in your left panel. Nothing but this is the percentage depth ionization curve without applying the effective point of measurements. So after applying the effective point of measurements, the percentage depth ionization can be considered as the percentage depth dose. Similarly, in electron beam, the dotted line shows as the percentage depth ionization curve. This percentage depth ionization curve can be converted to PDD after applying effective point of measurement and stopping power ratio corrections. Okay, suppose if you measure the percentage depth dose, the central axis using the ion chamber, each and every meter reading must be multiplied with this stopping power ratio in order to convert percentage depth ionization into percentage depth dose curve. Don't worry about by seeing these equations because nowadays all the RFA have the facility to convert automatically the PDI into PDD. In case in your institute, if you have the unshielded diode that can be used, so whatever the central axis data you've taken from this unshielded diode can be treated as percentage depth dose directly. The next correction factor is fluence or cavity perturbation correction factor. To understand, consider the two situations. The first situation, we are selecting some amount of volume inside the water phantom, it's mimic the ion chamber. So the electron entered into this volume is equal to the electron leaving from the volume. But if you want to measure the absorbed dose, we must replace this water volume by the ionization chamber cavity. When you are introducing this ionization chamber cavity, number of electrons enter from water to the cavity is more compared to the electron leaving from cavity to the water. This typical effect is known as in-scattering effect. Why this in-scattering effect is happened? Because of the density difference between the water and the cavity. The magnitude of in-scattering effect is high for cylindrical ionization chamber, particularly for low energy electron beam. This is one of the main reasons why the cylindrical ionization chamber is not recommended to perform output measurements for low energy electron beam. But this in-scattering effect can be considered as a unity when you are using the parallel plate ionization chamber because it has well-guarded guarding, so that we avoid the electron in-scattering effect. How it is avoiding? Let's see. This is the front view of parallel plate ion chamber. When it gets exposed by the electron enter into the cavity by the two routes. The first route, it enters through the front wall. The second route, it enters the side of the ionization chamber, side of the parallel plate ion chamber. when you take the profile over the diameter of this parallel ion chamber, the profile is not stable. Particularly in the edge, you can see the stability of the, there is a two hump in the edge because the synergistic effect of electron enter through the front window and the electron enter through the side window enhance the intensity in the periphery of the parallel ion chamber. By introducing the God ring, this God ring help to reduce the leakage and to make the electric field perfect. In addition, it will avoid the electron enter through the side wall, so we can easily achieve the charge particle equilibrium. Okay, what are the main reason we prefer the electron parallel ion chamber to perform reference dosimetry? One of the first reason is the well-bordered plane parallel chamber is believed that it will completely remove the in-scattering effect. The second reason, the front window of the plane parallel chamber not perturb the electron fluence as much compared to the cylindrical ionization chamber. But these 2 points are disproved in the literature. The first point is disproved by the Zink et al. They published the paper and they showed the result that irrespective of the God ring with the in-scattering effect is not eliminated. And the second point also disproved by Leslie et al. They published another paper and they showed that the perturbation is increased up to 1.7% per particular chamber. Say, for example, NACP 02, and these perturbations keep increasing beyond Z reference. And another issue is the long-term stability of parallel ion chamber. The minimum requirement of any chamber, the NDW should not change more than 0.3% over the calibration period. Say, for example, 2 years or 3 years is the calibration period, then the NDW should not change more than 0.3%. But the NDW of parallel ion chamber change within 8 months up to 0.6%. Some paper shows more than that. Compared to the former chamber, it is very high. Former chamber shows just 0.1%. So it need frequent cross calibration with higher energy electron beam. Otherwise, we need some monitoring setup to monitor the stability of NDW over the period of time, either stanchion based check or cobalt based check or lignite based check. Some monitoring way we should adopt to monitor stability of parallel ionization chamber. We collected data from 8 hospitals across the India about the precision of parallel plate and the cylindrical ionization chamber, and the precision has been obtained from the calibration certificate given by the BRC. As per this data, the average precision of the parallel ion chamber over 8 institutes is 0.1%, whereas the cylindrical ion chamber shows 0.047%. Of course, the difference are within the limit, within acceptable limits, that is 0.2%, but relatively, parallel ion chamber shows higher variations compared to the cylindrical ionization chamber. So many modern publications and Monte Carlo based publications steer the phase mask of the parallel ion chamber in the context of electron reference dosimetry. First of all, we were thought that the very bordered parallel ion chamber can completely eliminate the in-scattering effect. Actually, it is not. And the precision is inferior compared to the cylindrical ionization chamber. In fact, we surveyed over the 8 institutes. And when you are determining the beam quality conversion factor for your parallel ion chamber, if the parallel ion chamber directly calibrated in cobalt 60, the combined uncertainty is 1.7% compared to if the chamber calibrated in electron beam. And as I said earlier, the temporal variation in the calibration coefficient is changed up to 1.2%. It is reported in the literature. So we must do the periodic monitoring of parallel ion chamber, or we have to cross calibrate parallel ion chamber before doing the output measurements. And the innocent is cylindrical ion chamber because we wrongly misunderstood the cylindrical ionization chamber, because earlier literature shows that the cylindrical ion chamber shows up to 5% fluence perturbation correction factor. Unfortunately, the result derived from the paper which is compared the plane parallel ionization chamber with the freaky solution dosimetry, which have higher uncertainty. And it was thought that if such a large corrections were made, even if a small variation in the cavity dimension of the chamber will increase the fluence perturbation correction factor. But in 2017, Muyur et al. Published the Monte Carlo based paper, and they reported that the variation is between the parallel ion chamber and the cylindrical ion chamber is comparable. The revised version of TRS 398 protocol recently published. They have done some changes. Particularly, the very notable changes is the old TRS 398 recommended the cylindrical ionization chamber to perform electron reference dosimetry for the beam energy above 10 MeV or R50 is greater than 4 gram per centimeter square. But in the new version, the cylindrical ionization chamber recommended for electron nephron dosimetry for the R50 of above 3 gram per centimeter square or 8 MeV. Why these changes happen? Why the energy is reduced from older version to revised version? The key publication is published by Muyur et al. They showed that the fluence perturbation between the former chamber and the parallel plate ion chamber is between 0.4% in the energy range of 4 MeV to 22 MeV. So what would be the conclusion? The many papers in the literature raise their hand in favor of using the cylindrical ionization chamber to perform electron reference dosimetry. But it doesn't mean you should not use the PPT chamber to perform the electron reference dosimetry. Of course, you can use the plain parallel chamber to perform your calibration. But the plain parallel chamber should be cross-calibrated with high electron energy, or at least you should have some monitoring setup to monitor the stability of NDW. The recent publication of AAPM report number 385, it is addendum to the AAPM thesis 51. They are also recommending the cylindrical ionization chamber to perform electron reference dosimetry. They were done the survey in North America where among 156 centers, almost 82% of physics, they already incorporated cylindrical ionization chamber to perform both photon as well as electron beam calibration. So we can use a cylindrical ionization chamber to perform electron reference dosimetry from 4 to 22 MeV. Let me quickly walk through about the history of AAPM-TG. In 1983, AAPM-TG21 was published. This is for photon electron reference dosimetry. It is based on air thermo. Followed by in 1999, AAPM-TG51 published for photon electron reference dosimetry. This is observed dose based protocol. In 2014, AAPM-TG51 addendum has been published where they incorporate the Monte Carlo based beam quality conversion factor. In 2022, there was a guidelines published in AAPM. This is about the photon and electron reference dosimetry. In recently, 2024, AAPM report number 385 has been published where they discuss about modified formalism. So what are the things this AAPM-TG report number 385 is going to deal? First of all, it simplified their calibration procedure for electron beam reference dosimetry. And they updated advanced Monte Carlo based beam quality conversion factor. They explain in detail about how to implement these guidelines, and they presented detailed uncertainty budget for electron, for parallel plate ion chamber and cylindrical ionization chamber. And they given what are the specifications for reference glass chamber in electron beams. Let me quickly walk through about AAPM-TG51 formalism, because the modified formalism is based on AAPM-TG51 formalism. The observed dose is given by the product of meter reading KQ, NDW, NDW. So the beam quality conversion factor KQ is given by the product of gradient correction factor K prime R50 and K equal. The gradient correction factor can be calculated by taking the two meter reading. One at Z reference depth, another meter reading. You have to move the chamber from Z reference depth to FET point of measurements. From there, you have to take one more reading and take the ratio of these two in order to get the gradient correction factor. Let me explain about the K prime R50 and the K equal in next slide. To understand the K prime R50 and the K equal, let us assume you are getting the calibration coefficients from SSDL like VARC. If you are using this, if you are planning to use this NDW to measure the observed dose for 4 MeV directly, this NDW is not valid because the energy is different, first of all. And second thing is, the radiation type itself difference because the chamber has been calibrated in the cobalt 60, but you are trying to use for 4 MeV electron beam quality. So we should not go directly. Instead, we convert this calibration coefficient from cobalt to any arbitrary electron beam quality, preferably 18 MeV. We must apply the correction factor K equal with NDW. Then the NDW of cobalt 60 will be converted into NDW of 18 MeV. This K equal is nothing but photon electron conversion factor. Still, this NDW of 18 MeV we cannot use to measure the observed dose of 4 MeV because there is an energy difference. Here, you have to apply one more correction factor, that is beam quality conversion factor, that it will take you from 18 MeV being 18 MeV NdW to 4 MeV NdW. Now this NdW is valid to perform output measurements for 4 MeV electron beam. The photon electron conversion factor is independent of the energy. It is depends on the chamber. Whatever the chamber you take, the K E call will be different for every chamber. But for irrespective of energy, it won't change. Whereas the K prime R50 is a beam quality conversion factor. It is depends on the energy and chamber as well. Okay, let's come to the hardcore topic of the presentation, that is the modified formalism. Let me repeat once again the APM 351 formalism to understand in detail about the modified formalism. So, as I said before, the observed dose is given by the product of meter reading, KQ and NdW. The KQ can be given by the product of gradient correction factor, K prime R50, K equal. The gradient correction factor can be obtained using this equation. Here, in modified formalism, the gradient correction factor accounted along with K prime R50, that is beam quality conversion factor, and they combined together and they renamed as K prime Q. Here the K prime Q is nothing but beam quality conversion factor. It is the gradient correction factor is already accounted in the K prime Q. And another factor is K equal. They just change the name into KQ equal. The definition stays same. So these two notation once again introduced in the TG51 formalism. Then observed dose is given by character meter reading K prime Q, that is the beam quality conversion factor, KQ equal, that is photon electron conversion factor, and NdW, that is a calibration coefficient. This equation is called modified formalism equation. What is the advantage of modified formalism? Let's say you are going to do output measurements as per the TG51 for 15 MeV electron beam. In order to get the gradient correction factor as per the TG51, we must determine the meter reading at Z reference depth, and this meter reading can be substituted in the denominator. Similarly, you can move the chamber from reference depth to effective point of measurements and take one more reading. This reading can be substituted in the numerator. By taking the ratio of these two, you have to get the gradient correction factor. So what is the hurdle in this? The hurdle is you have to measure twice in order to get the gradient correction factor, and there may be the possibility of position uncertainty. But in the modified formalism, this gradient correction factor already accounted in the along with the beam quality conversion factor using Monte Carlo simulation. Hence, you should not apply the gradient correction factor by doing output measurements as per the modified formalism. This is one of the greatest advantage of using modified formalism. Okay, let me talk about the implementation part. First step is you have to determine the R50. R50 is nothing but at which depth you are getting the 50% of ionization. Suppose if you are using the cylindrical chamber or parallel plate ionization chamber, as I mentioned earlier, whatever the PDD you are measured is not a PDD, it is the percentage depth ionization curve. From that, you can derive the I50 value, that is the depth ionization happened at the 50% of depth ionization happened depth. So when you substitute this I50 in this equation, you will get the R50. In case if you have any unshielded diodes, whatever the dose, whatever the PDD you are measured, that can be treated as R50 directly. So no need to use this equation for diode. And you determine the reference depth that is given by 0.6 times of R50 minus 0.1 centimeter. Similarly, for each and every energy, you determine the reference depth and make a table. The next step, just go to your Linux, set the bottom phantom, open 10 by 10 applicator. Let's say we are going to measure the output for 15 MeV electron beam using cylindrical ionization chamber. So take the meter reading by placing the ionization chamber at Z reference depth. This meter reading substitute in this equation. The meter reading should be corrected by the impedance quantity, and the NdW probably you may get from SSDL or PSDL. What is the unknown quantities? Here K prime Q and KQ equal. How to determine those? I will explain in upcoming slides. I would like to stress one point here. Please don't move chamber to effective point of measurements when you follow the modified formalism. The effective point of shift to be done during the PDD measurement, not for output measurements when you follow the modified formalism. Okay, step 3, we have to determine that is the beam quality conversion factor. to determine the beam quality conversion factor, one must be follow the fitting equation. These fitting equations given in AAPM report number 385. Here A0, B0, C0 is the fitting parameters. These fitting parameters can be obtained from the table number 5 from the same publications. When you are substitute these fitting constant, then you are getting the K prime Q for cylindrical ionization chamber. The next quantity is KQ equal. So as I said before, the chamber, when the chamber is calibrated in the cobalt 60, first we have to come from cobalt 60 beam quality to the electron beam quality. In order to come to electron beam quality, we must apply the photon electron conversion factor. This photon electron conversion factor can be obtained for each and every chamber from the table number 4, which is published in again APM TG385 report. So let me repeat once again. So you are getting the NDW from the SSVI by multiplying this NDW with the KQ equal. We are moving from cobalt 60 beam quality to the arbitrary electron beam quality. After that, we have to multiply that NDW with K prime Q, that is the beam quality conversion factor. That will take you from arbitrary electron beam quality to your user beam quality. We used IBA chamber, so the KQ equal for IBA FC65G is 0.904. So what else we want? We will get a meter reading from ion chamber. The meter reading can be corrected with influence quantities, and this K prime Q, KQ equal can be obtained from AAPM report number 385. This NDW can be obtained from SLCL. So when you are multiplying everything, the dose is ours. In our institute, we use the PPC 05 and the cylindrical ions and the FC65D ion chamber to measure the output of 6, 8, 10, 12, and 15 MeV. And we compare the different formalism. Say, for example, we done the electron reference dosimetry using 2 chambers. One is cylindrical ionization chamber. Excuse me. Another one is parallel ionization chamber. When we are using the cylindrical ionization chamber, the output was obtained using TRS-398 protocol and modified formalism. Output of TRS-398 has been compared with modified formalism-based output. When I am using the parallel ion chamber, first the parallel ion chamber has been cross-calibrated with high electron energy. The recommended is 18 MeV, but it's not an issue. You can use the 15 MeV because the selection of electron cross-calibration energy is orbital. So we cross-calibrated the parallel ionization chamber as per the TRS-398 protocol, and the output of parallel ion chamber, which we obtained through the TRS-398 protocol, compared with modified formalism. So this is our results. You can see we don't have the dose informations when I follow the TRS-398 protocol, because when you use the cylindrical ionization chamber and if you are going to follow the TRS-398 protocol to measure the output, there is no information of beam quality conversion factor in TRS-398 because the TRS-398 is not recommended as a cylindrical ionization chamber for electron energies of 6 MeV. You can see the output obtained by the modified formalism using the cylindrical ionization chamber, and here output obtained by the parallel ionization chamber using cross calibration method. And this is the output difference between the modified formalism, TRS-398 formalism using cylindrical ionization chamber, and this is output difference between the modified formalism and the parallel ion chamber based on the TRS-398 formalism. Comparing these two, we are getting little higher side of the result for parallel ion chambers compared to the cylindrical ionization chamber. Related, of course, both are within the limit. The cylindrical ion chamber shows little superior results compared to the PPC. So the take-home message, what I'm going to try to convey here, please use the physicists are encouraged to use the cylindrical ion chamber to perform electron reference dosimetry without any hesitation. And the most important thing is the cylindrical ion chamber based output is not recommended for flash beam and teaser beams. And the perturbation of cylindrical ion chamber is comparable to parallel ion chamber, just 0.4% over the energy range between 4 to 22 MeV. And of course, PPC, still you can use the PPC ion chamber to perform electron reference dosimetry, but you should make sure the NDW is not deviated more than 0.3%, or you have to adopt any monitoring method. So the cylindrical ion chambers are preferable due to their stable calibration coefficient. And most important point is, don't move the chamber to effective point of measurements when you perform modified formalism based output. And whatever the chamber is not listed in the APM TG 385, don't worry. Very soon the APM is going to publish the online data. From there we can get that KQ dash value and the K equal value for chamber which is not listed out in the APM TG 385. So I strongly recommend the audience to read this report. So whatever they share the information through the presentation, just 1%. So remaining 99% of information can be obtained this document. Okay, let me conclude the one-stop solution of cylindrical ionization chamber. Just go to your LINAC, set the water phantom, do the output measurements based on TRS 398 protocol. In the same setup, perform the output measurement of electron using the modified formalism. You will get the beta reading, and this K prime Q and the KQ equal, these two can be obtained from the TC385, and the NDW can be obtained from the SL3. So once you've done the output, on the same day, just remove the water phantom, place your slabs, and deliver 100 monitor units. Say, for example, for 6 MeV, if you are getting 100 monitor unit on the same day of output measurements, if you are getting the 12 nanocoulomb, correct the meter reading with the KTP, and the final meter reading will be 13.4 nanocoulomb. Hereafter, this 13.4 nanocoulomb is your baseline value. So next month, when you do the output, don't read the output in water phantom, just place the slab phantom and deliver 100 monitor unit. Whether the 13.4 nanocoulomb is repeat or not, that you have to check. So what I'm trying to convey from this slide, you can use the cylindrical ionization chamber for doing both photon measurements and electron measurements in a single setup. So it will save a lot of time. It will reduce the position uncertainty and create a baseline. Then you can follow the baseline over the period of 1 year. So no need to repeat no need to perform the output measurements every month in water. So every month do the output constancy. Every year do the output measurements. This is our output constancy data over the period of 6 months. We got maximum 1.49% in the month of June for 6 MeV photon beam. But still we are within the tolerance. The tolerance for output constancy is plus or minus 2% from the baseline. Okay, so who will be the master? Both are master, I can say. The plain parallel chamber probably the little master, and the cylindrical ionization chamber can be the grand master. I would like to thank my colleagues, my friend Mr. Gautam Raj, medical physicist, for a healthy subject discussion. And I would like to say special thanks to Dr. Brian Muir. He's a research professor in Meteorological Research Center in NRC. He's the author of APM TG51 and the subsequent addendums. I had a lot of communication with him regarding this modified formalism. He's a good person to share the knowledge. And finally, I would like to thank Ms. Jeevita, our intern students, to collect the data collections during the output measurements. So so if you have any clarification regarding this, you can catch me through the mail or phone anytime. So let me open the forum for questions. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Sathyaraj, for such an informative talk. It's a very important topic as well. So thanks a lot. We'll check for the questions now. That's an informative talk. It's very
Do you see any comments? Yes, Dr. Samya. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, one question is from Dr. T. Ganesh.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Ganesh, sir.
Okay. I will unmute him.
Okay.
1 minute.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yes, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah. Where is the speaker? Thank you, Dr. Sathyaraj.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I couldn't join because of the Tamil Nadu Ampicon meeting. It was in progress, so I joined only halfway through. So I listened to it. My number one question is that I'm not able to remember from the TRS 398 revised version. So according to revised version for doing the electron reference dosimetry, parallel plate chamber is a must for energies less than 8 MeV, right?
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, you're correct.
So now, if that is the case, today's your topic is doing away with parallel plate chamber. That is what in effective it means, in effect, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is the? I mean.
Sir. Actually, the idea of this presentation is to make our one can use the cylindrical ionization chamber to perform electron dosimetry as well photon dosimetry in a single setup with effectively with equivalent results given by the PPC chambers.
No. You are meaning, my question is that, are you meaning that you can do reference dosimetry with the cylindrical chamber?
Yes, sir.
For low energy also?
Yes, from 4 MeV to 22 MeV you can use.
But according to TRS 398, I have to refer it because it has been a time. What are the reference conditions for electrons? Electrons reference.
They prefer PPC chamber, as you said, below 8 MeV. So beyond 8 MeV, you can use a cylindrical ionization chamber. But
beyond 8 MeV, there is no question. The cylindrical chamber can be used. My question is that less than 8 MeV, is it not parallel plate chamber a must?
Not necessary. As per the report number 385, you can go down to 4 MeV, sir.
Let me see.
Yeah.
No, I am seeing table number 18 on page number 106 TRS 398 revised version. So it clearly says that for R50 less than 3 gram per centimeter square, it is plain parallel chamber.
Yes, correct.
So now my question is that how, when the reference conditions are very clearly stated and the chamber type to be used is plain parallel chamber, my question is that how can we use cylindrical chamber for low energies?
When you follow the TRS 398, as you said, we must use the parallel plate ionization chamber below 8 MeV. I agree, sir. But when you not use the TRS 398, you can use APMTG report number 385, that is addendum of APMTG 51. You can use cylindrical ionization chamber from 4 MeV to 22 MeV.
That's fine. No. Just wait. My one thing is that my one point of observation here is that in a clinic, we should be either following the WAPM protocol or the IAEA protocol for doing reference dosimetry. That is my point that I want to highlight. Since
Okay.
you get my point.
Yeah,
We
I
shall-
understood, sir.
Yeah, whenever I talk about this international code of practice or protocol for reference dosimetry, I always stress this: we should not mix up two different protocols because they are valid under different conditions. So if we say that cylindrical chamber can be used from 4 MeV, then it must be stressed that we must follow only TG51. So only when we follow TG51 in full, then we may be able to use the cylindrical chamber for low energies. But when we say that we are following IAEA's TRS in our clinic as international code of practice, then in that case, we have to use plain parallel chamber for energies below that 8 MeV. That is my point of observation.
Yes, sir. I actually respect your point, sir. Actually, my idea is just within one setup, with a single setup, to follow the TRS 398 for photon output measurements. In the same setup, just do the output measurements for electron. Just follow the modified formalism, which is referred by the TG51. So it doesn't take too much of time. Just we have to take K-Q and the KQ we call from the TG385. That's all. It's very simple. So no need to. So if you follow the TRS 398, we have to remove the cylindrical ion chamber and again insert the parallel ion chamber. So this is time consuming and there is a possibilities of positional uncertainties that can be avoided. So that way I stressed you can use the cylindrical ion chamber for doing electron output measurements.
No, that is for consistency. As in the last few slides, when you mentioned about the consistency, yes, for checking the consistency of the output, yes, we can use the cylindrical chamber because they are relative measurements. We are talking about the reference dosimetry.
Yeah, I'm telling this reference dosimetry only, sir.
Hello.
Okay.
So you can, I kindly request you can refer the 385, sir. It's very recently published actually. And before that, many publications coming from the APM TG51. In fact, I had a personal communication with them, the authors. And we have done a lot of study in our department using this electron reference dosimetry. We landed with very good results, and in fact, it's comparable to the parallel ion chamber. Because as you are aware that the parallel ion chamber NDW is slightly vary over the period of time, and the polarity also is not stable. So in order to avoid these kind of things, we can use the cylindrical ion chamber, and we observed that personally the cylindrical ion chamber is more stable compared to the PPC ion chamber. So these are all the points made me to prefer this method, sir.
So your point of thing is that then we should be following TG51, you are telling?
Yes, sir. For electron reference dosimetry.
That is fine.
They modify. Yeah, I'm stressing that point only.
You see, we can move over to TG51.
Actually, sir, the TG51 said that when you are using the cylindrical ion chamber for electron reference dosimetry, you have to apply the gradient correction factor. This is the TG51 statement. But nowadays, the modified formalism is upcoming. That is derived from the TG51. What they are telling, the gradient correction factor already accounted in the beam quality conversion factor during Monte Carlo simulation. So not necessary to apply the gradient correction factor when you are using the cylindrical ion.
That is right. In the old TG51, you have to find the gradient correction factor when you are using cylindrical chamber. But right from beginning, TG51 advocated using of a cylindrical chamber for doing reference dosimetry for all electron energies. Only thing is that that dose gradient correction factor we have to measure.
In fact, even they are not recommending cylindrical chamber for I think below 6 MeV. Now the modified formalism method you can use from 4 to 22 MeV. We feel that the setup is very simple and the results are very reproducible. So that's why we came up with this result.
Yeah, that is correct. That we can use. When we are following TG51, yes, we can use it. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm not mixing one protocol for two things. Individual protocol, TG51 for electron and TRS-398 for photon beams.
Dr. Sathyaraj.
Yeah.
Yes. Dr. Sathyaraj, below 8 MeV, have you compared both TG51 and its adenum with the TRS-398?
Yes, I will show that. Yeah, can I able to see my slide?
Yeah.
This is the absorbed dose measured by cylindrical ionization chamber using the modified formalism and using the TRS-398 formalism.
Modified versus TRS cylindrical.
Yes, TRS-398 using the cylindrical ionization chamber.
Okay. And modified difference between modified means TG51.
Yes, the TG51 only, the two correction factor is modified and they just named a modified formalism.
Okay. With TRS cylindrical and this is with modified with PPC.
Yeah, the right one is modified versus TRS, but PPC.
No, I am asking that the comparison between cylindrical with TG51 and PPC with TRS.
Let me clear about this. Can I able to see this arrow, red arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the result comparison between the modified formalism and the TRS-398. We use the cylindrical ion chamber. In both of protocols, we use the cylindrical ion chamber. Similarly, we replace the cylindrical ionization chamber with the PPC in the next revision.
Okay. Means the percentage difference modified is with cylindrical.
Modified versus TRS-398 using PPC.
TRS with PPC and modified percentage is with
modified also PPC. Yes.
No, I am asking cylindrical with PPC.
Cylindrical with PPC. Cylindrical. Actually, I didn't make the column, but you can see this is the PPC and this is the TRS modified. I didn't compare the difference of these PPC and cylindrical directly.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Soumya. Any other questions?
Right now we don't have any other question.
Yeah, I think there's no question on YouTube also.
So, okay.
So I think we can conclude now. Yeah. So thank you very much, Dr. Soumya and Dr. Sathyaraj, all the participants, Dr. Niyaz for coordinating all.
Dr. Arvind, just one more question. Since
sure.
Participants are still there.
Yes, sure.
Sathyaraj, just another question.
Yes, sir.
So now you are saying that before using, that is cross calibration of the parallel plate chamber, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, for using the modified TG51 version, which you are telling, what is that, 385? So, do we need any cross calibration for that? No, nothing, no?
Yeah, we can do. Actually, they are given one more method. That is the modified cross calibration method. You can follow the TG report number 385.
385. Okay.
Yes.
So, just I want to highlight that point that first of all, listeners who are listening to this, you have to be clear about the cross calibration. So it's not a difficult thing, but then you need to understand that cross calibration procedures. It's not like that straightforward as we do for reference dosimetry. So you have to be a little bit more careful in using the cross calibration. So cross calibration has got 1, 2, 3 steps. So you have to be very careful about doing that cross calibration. Just that point I wanted to highlight to all the listeners. Thank you.
You have, I remember you have one PPT or one presentation earlier on the cross calibration.
Yeah. I think this entire webinar series, if I remember correct, it started with that cross calibration.
Cross calibration, yeah.
Some 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, still it is available on YouTube.
Yes.
I remember.
One more point. If the same secretaries allowed me, let me stress here.
Hello, good evening, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I am Prashant, medical priest from Trichy. Actually, I have one doubt. We are recently using that. We are following TRS-398 protocol. Can I compare with TRS-398 protocol? And recently, we are comparing this protocol. Can I compare and check in our in our hospital? It is possible, sir.
Yes, it is possible. What the slide you are seeing, exactly the same, what you are telling.
Recently, we are following TRS-398 protocol for electron beam. Can I compare it? You are saying that TG3, like this protocol.
Yes, you can compare. It's very simple to implement in your clinic.
Okay. Reference that only we follow the new reference. You are saying that correction factor, then that some different that correction factor also we want to include that new protocol, sir.
No. That just I explained the physics behind the KQQ0. The correction factor already accounted in the KQQ0. Suppose when you are using the NDW of Cobalt 60 for your 600 beam, how do you convert? Just multiply with the beam quality conversion factor. The beam quality conversion factor itself already accounted by the correction factors, the perturbation correction factors. So no need to apply any extra correction factors except the KTP and the influence quantities like polarity and reconversion correction factors.
Okay, thank you, sir. I got some new exposure from you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and one more point I would like to stress here, and I have seen many hospitals across India, even we also. So we are doing output measurements every month in water phantom, but we are giving less importance to do the mechanical QA. That's very important, personally, I feel. So instead of spending too much of time to perform output measurements, of course, if you have the time, you can do. But if you don't have the time, don't waste your time to perform output measurements in water. So just do the TRS-398 every once, establish your data, and do the output constancy every month in the slab phantom. Because there is no protocol recommending you have to do output every month. Just check the output constancy, whether from the baselines you are deviated from 2% or not. That is the most important part. If you move more than 2%, then you can tune your emission according to that.
Okay, Dr. Sathyaraj. Yeah. Can we wind up now? Is there
thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you. It was
really
a nice discussion.
One more presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks to all. Health to all participants. Thank you.
Hi.
Yes, yes.
Oh, what happened? Lot of time.
What happened?
What happened? I was little bit away in between.
Yeah.
Was there a long discussion?
Yeah, actually that Ganesh sir started to asking the question regarding the, he was telling as a reference dosimetry below 10 eV for electron-based cylindrical.
Okay.
So how it is possible?
Okay.
Regarding, because TRS 390 clearly says in modified
Yeah.
that below 8 MeV we must use
Yes. Correct.
earlier it was 10 or 12, 10 MeV.
Yeah. Four.
Now it is 8 MeV, so he was telling that we can do reference with cylindrical.
Yeah.
With this KG51.
Okay.
So that was the discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, he asked me the passcode and he called me. Ganesh sir has called me that what is the passcode, so he...
Oh, yeah. I was a little away. I was here only, but I just went to somewhere like different room. Okay, so thank you. And it was okay, now presentation was okay.
Yeah, it was good finished.
No problem. Okay, right.
Good finished.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, see you later. പോട്ടെ ഇറങ്ങോ ഞാൻ നാളെ ലീവാണേ എനിക്കൊന്ന് ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്ത് പോകേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്